Recording has stopped. This meeting is being recorded.
Sorry. Okay. So next one is the bar and column chart. So what is bar and column chart? So even I guess most of you have already used these kind of charts, right? And these are the commonly or widely used one to visualize the data. So if you look at this chart and these two charts, you can see that the visuals, it uses the rectangular bars here. So these are the rectangular bars. But in this case, this is called as a bar chart. This is called your column chart. This is your bar chart. This is your column chart. The horizontal ones, here we plotted the rectangles horizontally, whereas here the rectangles are displayed vertically. So this is called your column chart. This is called your bar chart. Okay. The rectangles in this case, right? Once again, in this case, the size of the rectangle is proportional to your data values. For example, if the sales value is very high in appliances, obviously the rectangle size will be taller. Okay. And smaller, shorter rectangles tells us the volume is not that good. Sales volume is not good. The size of the bar or the rectangle is proportional to the data value. It works best for comparing data values across categories. For example, in 2011, 3 categories we want to compare which categories outperformed: appliances. In 2012, technology. In 2013, furniture. See the column chart and bar chart, you can use it to compare the values across categories. So now we understood when to use bar and column chart. Now the question is, what exactly the difference between bar and column chart? It is pretty straightforward. So when you look at this visual itself, you could have understood. For example, in the case of x-axis dimension, so in this case, the dimension is year. Okay, and if it is a year, the length of year is too short here: 2011, 2012, 2013. Supposing your x-axis dimension is, the category name is long, appliances, technology, furniture, or if it is going to be a city, the city name, if you see some country in some city name, it is too longer. If you plot the longer dimension values in the x-axis, in the case of column chart, it will get cluttered. So in that kind of situation, you can go for bar chart. That's it. There are not much difference between bar and column chart. Okay, only these two, you need to remember it. And if you compare it quickly, the difference between line and bar chart. The bar chart, we use it to compare the categories side by side. Okay. And line chart to understand the change in data over a period of time. So for example, increase or decrease in sales or the number of followers in Facebook or so on. That kind of situation, we can go for either the line chart or the area chart. Trend. So if somebody is asking you what is a line chart, you just think it is nothing but trend. Okay. And to compare the categories of the values across categories, then you can go for bar graph. So here what I did, I'll just show you. So this is our Power BI desktop. And currently we are in the report canvas page. Here, if you see here on the right side here, the visualization pane is there. And especially in this first row, we can see that a pair of charts here. The pair of charts having different name. The first pair is nothing but stacked chart. Stacked. And second pair is clustered chart. And third pair is your 100% stacked chart. But in each pair, you can find something called bar and column, bar and column, bar and column. So what I did for you people to understand quickly, I just put together something like this. There are 3 types of bar and column chart. The first one is stacked, second one is the clustered, and third one is 100% stacked. The first pair is stacked, second pair is clustered, and third pair is 100% stacked. And each category, you see bar and horizontal and vertical, horizontal, vertical, which is nothing but bar and column charts are there. Bar and column charts available in these three pairs or the categories. Okay, now the question is, what is this stacked chart is all about? Okay, the stacked chart, in the stacked also we have bar and column charts are available. Okay, in the case of stacked chart, so what happens is the rectangles are stacked one over the other. If you see here, so if you see here, the rectangles are displayed side by side. Whereas in the case of stacked bar chart or column chart, the rectangles are stacked one over the other. If you keep one rectangle on top of other one, how it looks like, that is how it plots the values in the stacked chart. Like I said, even in the case of the normal the bar chart or column chart, you will find rectangles. But whereas here, rectangles are stacked one over the other. Okay. So now the question is, what exact difference between stacked chart and the clustered chart? The difference here is, in the case of stacked chart, it will help you to, it displays or you can find out the part to whole relationship. Part to whole relationship. For example, I want to understand in this category, compared to the whole, I know how much sales we made. What is the percentage of contribution, revenue contribution by this category compared to the whole? If you wanted to find out the part to whole relationship or to be the part to whole relationship, in that kind of situation, you can go for stacked. In the case of stacked chart, the rectangles are stacked one over the other. Like the clustered chart, here also we have bar and column chart. The dimension which you use it to plot in your x-axis contains the category values are too lengthy, then you can go for bar chart, or else better you can go for column chart. Even in the case of stacked chart, two types are available. Okay, the thing. But remember that stacked chart is meant for showing the part whole relationship. Okay, and the next one is stacked bar, and okay, the next one is the 100% stack next pair. If you see here, if you keep the cursor with 100% stacked chart, even in the 100% stacked chart, there are two types. One is bar chart and the column chart. Even in this case, the rectangles are stacked one over the other. But the difference is, if you see all the bars in this visual, all the bars, all the rectangles are at the same height. Or at the same height. What happens here is, unlike these typical stacked bar and column chart, here what it does is, it will display the values in terms of percentages. See here what happens in category revenue, how much revenue made in category 1, for example, apparels and technology and furniture. Okay, in apparels category, we made let's say 400K in the last month. Okay, compared to the whole, we can see that this is the highest revenue. This category only we were able to generate more revenue. Okay, fine. Here it displays the value, whereas in the case of 100% stacked bar and column chart, instead of displaying the value, it considers them as a percentages. Out of 100%, how much percentage contribution from category 1, how much contribution category 2. Okay, so that is what your 100% stacked chart is all about. Now you understood the difference between stacked chart and 100% stacked chart and the clustered chart. Even the clustered chart, you have the bar and column chart. So what I will do is I'll just go ahead and create some charts instead of discussing much on this. what I will do is to start with, we will plot the line chart. On the right side, just beneath the visualizations pane, you can find the line chart here, all these visuals. I'm going to click over this line chart. The moment when I clicked on it, it got dropped into my report canvas. And here, the line chart got created with some dummy data, so that before even you populate the data into this visual, you will get to know how this visual looks like once we populate the data. Okay, so now what I do is I will just select this visual. In order to populate the data or plot the x-axis and y-axis values here, you need to first select the visual. And then, for example, if I go here, sales W0, this is my data set. I'm going to expand it. And here what I do is, instead of here, I just go to the date dimension. I'll just go and plot the month prefix here, month here, and the x-axis month. Sorry. Month prefix index. I did not select that visual. See, first you need to select this visual and then you need to drag and drop the column. Either you can drag and drop it or you can select the column name here. So month prefix went in here, and the next one is my sales. I just drop it here. All right, my line chart is ready. It got populated with values from 2 columns. Where can I see which columns that I used it for this visual? I just dragged and dropped it. So you can make out your sales by month prefix. You need to select this visual, and on the right side, if you see here, just beneath the visualizations pane, you can find 2 fields here, x-axis and y-axis. X-axis, y-axis, and secondary y-axis and all is there. Okay. So here, what columns that I used it for this visual, in this field, you can find it out. Okay. And you might be asking this one, is there, instead of dragging and dropping the columns directly, can I drag and drop it in this field? Yes, that is also possible. Can, for example, select profit and drag and drop it here instead of dropping it in your visual. So, all right, the next one is, I'm going to use the category. I'm going to click on it now. This column data will get popular. Look here, the moment when I clicked on this, we can see the 3 series here, 3 lines here. Okay, each line represents different categories. So look here, if I keep the cursor over here, we can see there's a furniture, and the second one is also furniture. Yeah, if you see here, furniture, the blue colored one is the furniture, red color one is the office supplies, and green color is the technology. With this, you can make out in all the 3 categories put together. So November and December, you can see there is an increase in sales. But in July month, we can see that all the 3 categories put, there is a drop in sales. So with this, we are able to understand the trend. Just give me a second. Sorry, somebody is calling. So this is the this is how we can plot the line chart. And if you look at this field here, the x-axis month prefix, we have used the month prefix, and the y-axis we have plotted the sales, and the legend I have plotted the category. Sometimes you do not know in which field which one should I plot. You can try directly dragging and dropping it. Okay, it automatically whatever the values the columns that you drop it on the visual, that one will directly go to the respective fields. But not all the time it can go to the respective. Even after you properly go and check these fields, okay. And then we have something that's called multiples. And for example, you want to see the segment wise. You can select segment here. The moment when I select, automatically it goes here, segment. Small multiples. Here what happens, there are 3 segments are there. The customer segments, okay. The one is the home office segment. Look at this, a consumer segment, corporate segment, home office segment, home office segment. And each segment, so there are 3 segments are there, and in each category, in 3 segments, what is the sales? If you want to see it, you can see. Look here, I just clear this. You will find 4 charts here. 2 and 3 charts. Home office, consumer segment, corporate segment, and within each segment, you can see the 3 categories. Each category is represented with different colors in the legend. With this, we can find out which line belongs to which category. Multiples also you can use it, but you can see that here there are not much happen here, because in this case I've used segment. In the technology, we don't see sales in these 3 segments. But whereas if you see the corporate segment, it is good really. But sometimes it could be some data issues also, missing data or something like that. Okay, and what I will do is I'll just remove the small multiples. So in this case, I selected profit. In addition to, I'm sorry, I did not share the screen. Let me just. Okay. So here, in this case, what happened? I was just showing the multiples here. I'll repeat once again because I did not share the screen that time. Look here, on the right side, you need to select the visual. And then on the right side, if you see here, what all the columns that I used it to plot this chart. So the month prefix, y-axis sales, and legend category. In the small multiples, I just dropped the segment here. So what happens, this chart got divided into 3 different parts. The first part, it shows us the segment. So in segment, there are 3 segments: are consumer, corporate, consumer, corporate, and home office. And I will increase the font size so that it will be clearly visible to you all. Sorry, this is enough. This is my x-axis values, and secondary y-axis we don't have it. And here, where is the legend? I think I need to select legend here. So now we can see that, right? So the category, there are 3 categories and 3 segments are there: consumer segment, corporate segment, home office. With multiples, we can see in each category, in each segment, how much sales made across these 3 categories. We can see it in one go. The point, the takeaway here is, you can have more than 2 dimensions. You can have 2 dimensional data can populate in your line chart. I started with 1 dimension, the month prefix, and 1 measure. The other measure is, in this case, it is sales. And then I dropped the segment column in the multiples. So now we have 2 dimension, 1 measure. Okay, and what I will do is I'll just go to the right side, and you need to click on this one and to see the thing here. And the secondary y-axis, if I drop here the profit, it is not going here. Okay. So the formatting, this is how you can plot the chart, and you have something called format icon available, the paint brush. icon is here. This is to format your visuals. Once you plotted the x-axis and y-axis dimensions, values, right? And next one is the formatting. Click on the format visual. Here you can see the x-axis on, y-axis on. Here what you can do is the lines. You click on, if you expand the lines, you can see the series, all series apply the settings. Line style, you want a solid line or you want to have a dashed line. You can select it here, or if you want to have the dotted line, you can use that one also. Okay, and you can increase the size of this one, and also joint type is round or meter or bevel, something, the joint type. Okay, so one data point to another data point, the joint points. And then the step is, if I select this one, what happens here is it is kind of a step, it's kind of a staircase. Okay, you want the line chart to be displayed in the step to format, you can enable, you can toggle this on. When you click on it one more time, it will get it'll be reverted. Okay, and I'm going to expand colors. Here you can see various colors, or if you wanted to change the color, you can change it. You want to leave the spacing between this, you can increase this one. And the next one is the markers. If you want to use, if you toggle this on, you can create the markers here so that accurately you can find out the sales value across the categories. For example, in this case, these two are somewhat close by, and where it starts exactly the furniture segment, right? So with the markers, you can enable it. And then we have the data labels. If you toggle this on, it will display the values along with the markers, the data points. Okay, and if you enable this, it will get cluttered. Better you can toggle this off. Instead, if you hover the cursor on top of this visual, for example, if I keep the cursor here, it tells me all the three categories put together. What it says: furniture, office supplies, technology, in the black color rectangle. So this is called your tooltip. Okay, if I move this here, right, with this itself, we can make out. With the tooltip itself, we can make out. Instead of toggling this on the data labels, you can do it. And the next one is secondary y-axis on. The secondary y-axis here, you cannot use it. That that I will tell you later. Okay, now the next thing is the title. Look here, the sales by month prefix. Everything is good, but the title size is very small. You can go to the general and you can see the title here. And see in the format, paintbrush icon, when you click on it, you will have various options to format your visual. But when you click on this format visual icon here, again, two tabs are there. The general tab and visual tab. This is very specific to the visual. The general is very common across the visuals. The title is common, isn't it? Here, what I do is I'm going to increase the font size for the title. Look at the visual. The visual title gets increased, and if I click on bold, it'll appear in bold. Instead of using the text color as gray color, I'm going to use it as a black color. And if you want to use a background color, what you do is you can use better. You can do it the opposite way, black. The text color is white. Got it? So this is how you can format your visual. Now what I just go here and I'm going to remove the multiples are not required here. I'm going to remove it. So now we have created a chart, the line chart, and we did the formatting also. Even the legend here, you can go here. You have various options here. Look here, if you expand this with the legend, you have top left and bottom left. You can have this title at the bottom also. Instead of having at the top, you can have it here also, or you can have it at the right side also. Center right, you can have it here itself. You can display it. But if you use it here, the size of your chart will get reduced. The width will get reduced. And if you want it, you can use it at the bottom right. or bottom left. Okay, now you understood how to plot a line chart. And just above the chart, you can see two icons. One is the filter. For example, you are using a slicer. When you make any selection, it will apply the filter on the visual. For example, if you create a visual in that category is there, I'll just show you now itself. Look here on the right side, you can see something called slicer. The slicer icon, you will find some kind of filter image. You just resize it, small size. And what I will do is I will just click on category here. The category will get populated here. If I select only furniture, only the furniture will get displayed here. And on top of the visual, when you keep the cursor on top of this filter icon, it shows furniture. That means you have in the slicer, since you have selected furniture, it applies the filter on this visual. What filter you apply? If you keep the cursor on top, you can find out. Filters on visual is furniture. Supposing you select two items. For this, it will display. This visual got filtered with two categories. And if you keep this, you can see that is furniture or technology. Okay. And apart from this, we have the second icon here. This is focus mode. When you click on it, it'll be kind of a zoom in. It'll get zoomed in. Okay. Bigger size, you can see. And if you click on back to report, you are here. Sometimes what will happen is, not sometimes, when you start creating a report, in each page, let's say roughly speaking, you have 5 or 6 visuals are there. You have another visual. For example, I'm going to copy paste this, Control C, Control V, and I keep it here. If I want to convert this as an area chart, it's pretty simple. For example, you need to click on this area chart. The line chart will get converted as an area chart. So the advantage here is we don't have to drag and drop the x-axis and y-axis columns manually. Simply take this and copy paste it and you can do it. Let's say you have two visuals are there in a report. Likewise, you have 3 or more visuals are there in the report page. And if you want to see, let's say the values are too small. In that case, if you want to zoom in, you click on it. Otherwise, what will happen is you need to move this app and make it big, resize it to bigger size without even resizing the visuals. If you wanted to magnify and see it, you just click on the focus mode. Look here. You can get the magnified view here. You can see here with this, once you are able to understand, you can go back here without even resizing it. With the help of the focus mode, you can do that. And then if you click on the 3 dots, this is called ellipses. 3 dots are called as ellipses. You can export the data of this visual into a CSV file, Excel file. And if you want to be this a table, you can see it here. Look, it is loading it. You need to wait for some time. Look at these are the data used in this chart. Okay. Next one is, what are the other options? You have remove. Supposing you don't want this visual, you can remove it. Spotlight. If you select spotlight, rest of the visual will get dimmed. Only this one will get highlighted. That means it'll help. The spotlight mode help draw the attention. Okay. And I'm going to press this off again. And so next one is the sort axis. You want to sort the axis by month, prefix, or sales. In this case, it got sorted automatically in a correct manner. So Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, everything is correct. And sort legend. If you want to sort by the legend, for example, the category wise, if you want to sort, you can do it. The sorting option also available by axis, by legend also. And also remember that, let's say in this case, I've selected this visual, and on the right side, if you see here, the x-axis, y-axis, is this the number of fields or common for all the visuals? No, it will vary from visual to visual. Which one? The number of axes or the fields that you see it here, the number of fields that you see it. The field is x-axis, y-axis. I meant that one. And in that case, the field number of fields vary from one visual to another visual. For example, if you use table visual, you will not find x-axis, y-axis, only one field called values. Okay, now you understood how to create a line chart and how to convert this area chart. This is what our area chart, and even in this itself, we have something called stacked area chart. You just click on it here. Sorry, not this one. You need to select the visual first, and then you try the stacked area chart. This is your normal chart, the stacked chart. This is your stacked area chart. And then next one is line and stacked column chart. That is little bit different. Hope you understood how to create a line chart and area chart. Next one is the stacked chart. Sorry, the clustered column. Sorry, we will go by the stacked column chart. I just clicked on it. It got dropped automatically here. And I just go to the category and drop it here. Category and sales. So this is my stacked column chart. As I said, each rectangle will be kept one over the other, but whereas it is displaying it like this. So what I will do is I'll just go here in the legend. I will put some other column, for example, segment. Now it became a stacked chart. When you drag and drop two axis values, two fields values like sales and category, it will be like your normal column chart. We want a stacked chart, okay, stacked column chart. In that case, we need to drop another column into a legend. So in this case, I dropped this segment. We can see that the segment is consumed blue, the green color is consumer segment. So if you see the categories here, part to whole, if you see, the more revenue is generated in the consumer segment. You understood? Just give me a second. I am getting disturbed. I don't know.
Meeting is being recorded. This meeting is being recorded.
So right, so this is how you can plot the stacked chart. So what I will do is I'll just copy paste this one like how I did it for the line chart and the other one, area chart. This is exact copy of this one because I just copy pasted. What I will do is I will just move this slightly up. Okay, here I select this visual. I'm going to clear this one so that all the three categories you can see it here. In each category, which segment is really doing good job, that we can see it here. Instead of having the rectangle side by side, with this we can see that. So now I select this one. I'm going to click on the stacked bar chart. Instead of displaying it vertically, horizontally display it. Got it? What I will do is I'll just duplicate this page. I duplicate the same thing. I'm going to remove these two things because these two are already available in my previous page. Now I just duplicate these two visuals. And then I just select, see this visual I selected. And if I want to convert this as clustered chart, column chart, clustered column, click on it here. Now it got. So now I'm going to select this visual. I want to convert as a clustered bar chart. Okay. The difference is the rectangles are stacked one over the other in the case stacked chart, whereas in the case of column chart and bar chart, the rectangles are displayed side by side, With that, we can make the comparison across categories. But whereas here, part to whole relationship, if you want to see it, you can go for this kind of chart. Next, I'm going to duplicate this. And I'm going to remove these two things because these two are available in my previous page. And I just keep this here. Next pair is my 100% stacked bar chart. If I click on this, look here, all the three rectangles, heights are same. But if you keep the cursor over here, it will show the percentage. Okay. Along with that, values also you can say. But here you can see the percentage also. Whereas in this stacked bar chart, stacked and column chart, you can see only the values. Each rectangle gets created by value, whereas here it go by the percentage. Along with that, it displays the values also. Hence, all the three bars are at the same height. That's it. That's the difference between these three pairs. And now you understood the difference between these three categories of charts. A line chart, area chart, and we this already explained it. And the next one is the line and stacked column chart. It is also called as a combination chart. In this case, for example, I just select sales and then I select profit. And then what I will do is I'll just go up here and then I select year. Okay, in this case, the x-axis value have gone somewhere else and the x-axis is year here. So this is how you can swap the values. Look here currently, can you all see it here? And in the column y-axis, the year column, I just drag this up and drop it in my x-axis. Okay, column y-axis and line, I just drop the profit in the line axis here. This is called your combination chart because in this chart you can see that line as well as the column chart. Line and column chart. Here the line represents the profit. Look here, year 2014, what is the profit? 2013, what is the profit? And 2011, what is the sales? If I enable the data labels on, you can see the values here. Here itself, along with the the data points. So with this, you can gain an insight about two measures in one go. In 2011, what is the profit and what is the sales? In 2012, what is the sales and what is the corresponding profit? You can check it side by side itself. In this case, sales and profit, the x-axis the year, the y-axis sales and profit. So what does that say? These two y-axis values shares the common x-axis. This is what called as your combination chart. Supposing you want to use more than one y-axis values which shares the common x-axis like this, in that kind of situation you can go for combo chart. It is also called as a combination chart. And here what I do is I just select this and I'm going to click on this as line and a clustered column chart. Okay, if you see here 2, 11, 12, 13, 14, both of them look same only. And you're not much difference. Okay, this is what your normal clustered chart, and this is your stacked chart. So in this case, maybe you can use some legend here. In the legend, I can use some text column here. So here, if you use a legend, right? So in each year, across the categories, how much sales we made, how much profit we made, we can do it. We can see it. Got it? But keep in mind that the line and stacked chart, line and clustered chart gives us a quick glimpse of, the two measures. The two measures. What are the measures? Measure one is sales, another measure is profit. These two measures shares the common axis. In that kind of situation, you can go for the combination chart. It is also called as a combo chart. Okay, Charmi, I will just finish it. Don't worry. Okay, and she's saying that she has to go for office. Okay, and the next one is the ribbon chart or the pie chart. Okay, or what we'll do is the rest we will continue from day after tomorrow. Okay, and tomorrow we'll take a break and you look at